Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Walk My Talk, my weekly video series where I take a chance and spin the wheel of opportunities and do whatever I land on, either live for you all or I take on a challenge throughout the course of the week. And I do this because as a coach, I'm constantly encouraging my clients to push their comfort zone by 10%. Do something that feels slightly out of reach, maybe something that they've been avoiding, or maybe something they've wanted to do and haven't felt they've had time to do. I want to show you all that I am doing all of those things as well and walking the talk alongside you. For those of you that are new, welcome. And for those of you who had joined me before, welcome back. Progress report from last week. I actually didn't spin the wheel last week. I had a memorial golf outing for my mom. I've talked about her a lot. She unfortunately passed away at the beginning of quarantine last year. And her women's golf league that she's been part of for, I don't know, something like 25 years, had this amazing outing and luncheon last week. And so my goal this past week was to kind of do some research on golf lessons as well as golf clubs so that I could participate in this outing next year. So I have found some beginner golf clubs from Dick's Sporting Goods, thanks to a friend of mine. And thankfully, that friend of mine has agreed to give me some golf lessons. So, Steve, looking at you, thank you. He's an amazing scratch golfer. So, very excited to start that journey. I'll keep y'all posted on how my game is. But and you know what, before I spin the wheel, I want to thank you all for the support last week, for giving me some grace. I really wanted to give myself some grace as well by not spinning the wheel and just making a choice for the week. And I know my emotions, I was pretty raw last week. And so just thank you to everybody for giving me that space. Now let's share my screen right over my face and let's spin the wheel. Again, there's the face. Let's see what I land on. Tell an inspiring story. Oh, interesting. Usually I take a look at the wheel before I spin it just to have a couple ideas in mind. And I'll be honest, this was one that I was not expecting. I was expecting to land on Eat the Frog this week because there is something that I've been avoiding that, you know what, I get to continue avoiding this week because today I'm going to tell you an inspiring story. And I'm going to continue to talk about my mom, my inspiring mom. So when I was, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years old, I was afraid of the big pool. Okay, we went to this Melody pool in Dayton, Ohio. Every week in the summer, we'd go, I don't know, probably 3 to 5 times a week. And all of my friends were in the big pool and I was in the baby pool. Maybe I wasn't 5 or 6. I was probably like 7 or 8. Doesn't really matter. So my mom kept saying, Julie, you can get in the big pool. You can touch, all of your friends can touch. But the mind chatter, I was like, I don't know. There's no way I can touch in that big pool. There's just no way. I'm going to stick to the baby pool. And one day, I don't even know what was in me, but I jumped in and she was right there. You know what? I think she probably looked at me and said, Julie, I got you. I'll catch you. I'm not going to let you drown. So I trusted my mom and I jumped in that pool. And man, I could touch and I was having so much fun. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I been afraid of all these weeks? And I was so excited. I was having so much fun. Well, then the lifeguard came over and he's like, hey, congratulations. But in order to stay in the big pool at that age, you have to do the swimming test. And I'm like, there's a swimming test that I need to do? I have to swim all the way across the big pool by myself? Nope. Out I went back to the baby pool. I don't know how long I stuck to that baby pool. until one day, my mom, okay, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. So this probably would have been late 80s, early 90s. My mom got perms. And in this particular day, she had just gotten a perm and she was not allowed to get in the pool because, as we all know, if you get a perm, or if you don't know, if you get a perm, you cannot get that wet. So my mom would come to the pool in her shorts and t-shirt, and then that was the signal to the friends, like, you're on pool duty today. Okay, if my kid's drowning, it's on you to go get her because I'm not getting my hair wet. I just got a perm. So in this particular day, she had just gotten a perm. And on this day, I was like, I'm going to swim across the pool. She's like, okay, Julie, but I can't get in the pool with you. I'm like, that's okay, Mom. I got it. So we go up to the lifeguard. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. He said, okay. So I jump in and he's like, okay, you have to swim all the way to the other side. Just once. I didn't have to go there and back. I just had to swim across the pool. My mom's standing on the side that I have to swim to, and the lifeguard's here. So I jump in and I start swimming. And I start swimming. And I'm probably doggy paddling my way. And I'm like, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And so I'm getting my head up. I'm like, Mom, I can't swim. And she's like, come on, Julie. Swim, Julie. You got it. Swim. And I'm like, Mom, I can't swim. I can't swim. She's like, come on, Julie. And she is just rooting for me. And in my head, even though I see her, I'm like, I can't do this. And so I'm sure the lifeguard's looking at her like, should I go in? And she's like, come on, Julie, swim. And I'm swimming. She's like, a little bit further. And I'm kidding. And I probably was like close enough to like almost touch her. But in my head, she was like miles and miles away. And I'm getting closer. And she's like, a little bit further. I'm like, Mom, I can't swim. A little bit further. Okay, Julie, turn around. You can go back. I turned right around. Swam right back to that lifeguard. So I essentially swam to the other end of the pool and back. I mean, I was very close. My mom said I was so close. And the lifeguard's looking at her and she's like, I know my kid. So the lifeguard helps me out and he's like, good job, kid. You did it. I'm like, I did it? He's like, yeah, you're fine. And so my mom comes around. I'm like, thanks, Mom. I couldn't make it all the way to the end. She's like, I know you couldn't. That's why I sent you back. Because I got you. Your mom isn't going to let you, drown. I knew what you needed. So essentially, my mom knew the inner strength that I had that I didn't even know existed. Okay. I told myself I can't. I said, I can't swim. I'm doggy paddling. And she knew I had it. And so anytime I think about, drowning in whatever work or challenge or circumstance that I'm going through, when I'm feeling like I'm drowning and I can't do it, I'm always remembering that even when I tell myself I know I can do it, I remember that my mom sees something in me that I don't even see in myself. And I can dig deep. And I'm digging deep, not just for me, but for her as well. So there's my inspiring story. What's an inspiring story that you all want to tell? You all inspire me. I do this on a week in and week out basis because you all inspire me. And remember, if you're feeling overwhelmed or drowning at the moment, just keep swimming. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.